Our next lightning talk will be Bradley Whitfield from Capital One.
Hello, my name is Brad Whitfield. I'm a platform engineer at Capital One, and today I'll be talking to you about building a secure and maintainable PaaS leveraging eBPF. So my team built an internal platform as a service called Dragon. The goal is to make it so developers can ship code to production with as little friction as possible. And we had great success with this in one division of the commercial bank. We had hundreds of pods and dozens of nodes. But we wanted to bring this to more teams within commercial. But we couldn't make it a multi-tenant platform as is, so we gathered a list of requirements, and here's a subset that relate to this talk. So network security and auditing, of course, we're a bank, so everything is security first. And we had to have a way to audit the network traffic down to the specific application that initiated the connection. So we also needed to be able to scale and maintain this solution because we were growing in scope, but we were not growing in teams. So we were trying to avoid adding any infrastructure or code that we had to maintain. And if we added tools, we wanted good troubleshooting abilities with them as well. So ultimately, that led us to evaluating eBPF-based container network interface offerings. So iptables has its limits. In theory, eBPF can scale a lot better. And we saw examples of writing programs that hook into eBPF, such as with Tracy from Aqua. So we landed on using Cilium for our CNI, and it was gaining a lot of adoption and support. And it met our list of requirements for CNI, such as supporting network policies. And it has a lot of other cool features such as IPsec between nodes, cluster mesh, and more flexible network policies. So several of us from Capital One went to KubeCon 2019. And there we saw Hubble from Isovalent, who are the folks that support Cilium. And they announced at the start of KubeCon this tool called Hubble. And since it was using Cilium, we had to check it out. So very briefly, Hubble is a platform built on top of Cilium and eBPF. It runs as a daemon set on the cluster. And it provides us with the networking and security observability out of box, so we did not have to write custom code. So ultimately, we landed on this solution using Hubble and Cilium Enterprise for our multi-tenant clusters because it added very little maintenance and performance overhead, and it met the list of requirements we outlined earlier. So let's dive into some of the benefits of Cilium that you can see here. Reduced iptables is a pretty noticeable one. If you've ever logged into a node and run iptables-s when it's a Kubernetes node with some pods on it, you'll note that the list is normally much longer than this. But this is a default Cilium installation. The list really doesn't get longer than this. With Cilium Network Policies, we get some additional benefits that Kubernetes network policies don't allow out of box, such as filtering on layer 7. So on the far left, you can see that we're filtering based on the HTTP protocol. And we also allow outbound to specific DNS names rather than IP CIDRs or a rotating list of IPs. And we can also apply network policies at the cluster level rather than the namespace level. And with the Cilium CLI, we get additional commands that help us troubleshoot network policies because sometimes they're hard to get right. So you can see that we can list all the endpoints on a given node. And then similar to TCP dump, we can actually watch the traffic and then see if it's denied by policy, like you see in the top right there. So, and then let's dive into some of the Hubble benefits that you see here. So, durable audit log storage. You can you can use any of your cloud provider storage, such as S3, Google Cloud Storage, or Azure Blob Store for durable storage. And then integration with your enterprise SIEM, right, such as Splunk, LogRhythm, or Sumo Logic. And then we also get this really cool command with Hubble called Hubble Observe, where we can do similar to the Cilium Monitor command, but now we get more flags that we can use for our filters, such as filtering on labels rather than just IDs. And then we can filter on drop traffic like you see there, or we can just follow all the traffic on a node or for a given pod and watch it in real time. We can also make this network visibility available for teams, right? The Hubble UI shows this really cool service map where you can see a loud curl is talking to Nginx, but bad curl is not. And then if we filter by denied traffic there, you can see that it's because it's being dropped and denied. We also get the ability to make these logs searchable for teams, and we can even use Hubble FGS to see the binary that's initiating the call. And you can see here that even though I have curl in the pod name, I'm actually using wget. But this can be used to see if like a container was exploited, for instance, or if maybe someone just used a kubectl exec. So all of this is eBPF powered, right? So we've been able to successfully bring this platform to more teams within Commercial Bank. And now we do hundreds of deployments a day, and we have clusters that have thousands of pods. So this stack has allowed us to provide less friction to even more and more teams while using modern technology to meet our security and regulatory requirements.
Thank you, Brad. How charming and excellent it is to see how values created in the open source communities translate into financial industry security requirements. If you have questions for Brad, please ask them in the Slack channel, and also please give Brad a round of applause for a fantastic lightning talk.